Howdy, folks. KFC's Colonel Sanders here. You have someone in your life you want to get KFC's new $10 chicken share with? It could be a friend, more than a friend, or even a spouse. It's okay. Be brave. Go ahead and say, I want to get a $10 chicken share from KFC and share chicken with you. It's who you are. Don't be ashamed. Just head to a KFC and share 9 extra crispy tenders, 6 pieces of original recipe, a lot of popcorn nuggets, or 12 hot wings. And don't be afraid to be who you are. KFC. It's finger-licking good. Limited time offer. Participating KFCs. Prices may vary. Tax and substitutions extra. Hot wings not available at all locations.
Kasha's Bazaar, located at 5727 Jesson Highway, across from Red, White, and Blue. Geeky collectibles and more. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Kasha's Bazaar. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jesson Highway, the Flea Market.
Tubby and Coos, Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton, just off Orleans in Carrollton. Books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. Find them on the web at tubbyandcoos.com and sign up for their geekly newsletter. Tubby and Coos, more than books.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby and Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
March 3rd through the 5th, CoastCon celebrates its 40th anniversary. Join us for the 40th annual Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Gaming Convention held in Mississippi's Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. Enjoy 3 days of gaming, costumes, shopping, and guest panels with celebrities like actor Oded Fair from the Mummy and Resident Evil franchises, and New York Times best-selling authors Robert Buettner and Claudia Gray. This March 3rd through the 5th, come celebrate 40 years of CoastCon. For more information, go to coastcon.org.
Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek on Fox Sports 1280. Broadcasting from the tubbyandcoos.com studios, here's David and Brian.
Good afternoon, New Orleans. This is The Week in Geek on Fox Sports 1280, coming to you live from the tubbyandcoos.com studios. This is D Squared with
Brian Held.
Hey, Brian, how the hell are you, buddy?
I am fantastic, sir.
Are you really? You're not jerking my chain, right?
No, I'm excited for this weekend, Dave.
What's going on this weekend?
Well,
is it Valentine's Day?
No, that's past, Dave.
Oh. Nobody told me.
It's CoastCon, Dave.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be at CoastCon all weekend long. That's in Biloxi at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum. So come out and see us. You know, Dave and I are going to have stuff from the station to give away.
Maybe.
We're going to have...
I didn't get a response on the email.
Oh, well, I'm sure we'll get something.
No, we got swag.
Yeah, and we're doing opening ceremonies and the costume contest.
And apparently Corey Johnson knows Oded Fair.
Really?
Yes, I was telling Corey on his show just before he wrapped that, we're going to be introducing Oded Fair in the opening ceremonies as well as all the other guests of honor. And he's like, yeah, my brother knows Oded. And well, get this. I didn't know this. Corey just told me. His brother was in The Mummy.
What?
He's the guy. He was the third guy to get killed who had the urns of the Americans, the three Americans, who was shooting all the little emo type guys.
Right.
And, he's got killed.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that was Corey Johnson's brother.
It's a small world.
It is.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to tell Oded that, we're it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, you ready to start the show?
Well, as always, Brian, we strongly urge people to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek, or check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram is The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, once we're off the air, we're going to load this show up on Spreaker.com, or you can download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. You can also find us on YouTube, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and at foxsportsam1280.com.
Oh, for the love of God.
What?
Skungy is going to get fired.
Why?
Because he keeps making me answer the damn phone. I don't know what's wrong with him. He must have a dirty Android.
No, no, he does have an Android phone.
See,
that's
why his phone sucks.
No, it's not. I mean,
see, he's calling back again, Brian.
All right, well,
why don't you lay out
phone.
the show while I fire him again?
Well, guys, once we get Skungy on the line, he's going to give us a breakdown on Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4. Then we have an in-studio guest from Operation Spark. He's going to be telling us about coding. Are we going to
air those interviews?
Yes, we have Ted Raimi and Timothy freaking Zahn.
Yeah, we got those at Pensacon, so we're going to go ahead and get that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you and I were kind of discussing the show earlier, and it's like some of the top nerd news is pretty cool, but it just none of it was like really popping to me.
Okay.
And these interviews are really good, and I really don't want them to get lost in the shuffle because, like the ill-fated Mike and Ming interview that never saw the light of day.
That's true. That's true.
So we want to make sure we get these interviews to you, the listeners. So you already talked about Skungy.
I did.
I mean, I guess. All right. Well, now let's try to see if Skungy is ready for his pick of the week.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Skungy, what's shaking bacon?
Like my mind, I was having technical difficulties.
Yes, that's every day for you, pal. All right, man. So what are we talking about?
Oh, well, today we're talking about Horizon Zero Dawn that just dropped for the PS4.
What the hell is that?
This is already, it's only February, and it's March now, but it's contender for Game of the Year. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Really?
How's that possible?
Absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, all right?
Boy, thank you. I know I am. Oh, the game.
I know you are.
Oh, you're talking about the game.
It's set in you're going to say post-apocalyptic world. Whenever somebody says post-apocalyptic, they think wasteland,
Mad Max.
the barren forest and everything. No, this is a beautiful, vibrant, living world with animals. But it's been years since you don't know exactly what's going on, and the game is pretty long. So eventually, you're going to find out what's happening. But you're just piecing stuff together. Humans are now kind of like tribal people. They're set off in different tribes. The best way to describe it, they're kind of like hunters and gatherers, but they're actually hunting machines.
They're hunting what?
God dog it. I'm telling you, we got to fire Skungy.
What? Well,
we lost him. He's gone.
We did.
He's gone again.
But look, I don't understand why you're so opposed to a vibrant, lush, post-apocalyptic venue.
Why would I want one?
Well, there was one in Battlefield Earth. There was one in, what was the Will Smith movie with the zombies?
Oh, yeah, that was a horrible movie. I loved the book. I love the Vincent Price version of it. Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Last Man on Earth.
No, that doesn't sound right.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'll look it up. Regardless,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's Skungy. So regardless, I think that having this like lush, kind of unspoiled world where nature takes over again is not necessarily a bad.
No, because that means it's just going to start all over again, and that's when the screaming and crying starts. All right, Skungy. So you left off after about a lush, beautiful post-apocalyptic Earth. What's up?
They have these beasts, these machines that you're hunting. So machines are now sentient.
Okay.
So you're actually hunting them for scraps to build stuff and improve your weapon.
I kind of like that.
But some of them are like docile, and you can make some of them like you're like a stag. You can ride it around and travel faster. Some of them are like sawtooth, like tigers, and it's various. There's like 23 different variants of animals, and it's beautiful. It's really interesting how you have to fight them because you don't want to take them all at once. You want to pick a couple of them off out of the herd.
Yeah, well, you always get the slow ones and the lame ones first. Everybody knows that.
That's what you have to do because you don't want to fight them all at once, or you're going to die.
So wait,
quickly.
so these are not like real flesh and blood creatures. They're like
they're robots.
Well, who the hell made them?
Well, that's the thing. You don't know. As you play the game, you're going to figure this out.
SOBs.
What happened and why the machines. All you know is that you hear remnants of the metal world, which was the time before everything happened. And, when the machines took over because man faced in machines. But it's like folklore. Somebody like an old lady telling a story, from years gone by of what happened, so now it's gone into myth, like legend now.
Price
so
and
you don't
platform.
Know exactly
is it
what's going
good?
on.
Is it good? And then give us price and platform.
It's fantastic. It's an action RPG with an open world. It's $60, and it's on the PlayStation 4 only.
Oh, man.
I can play it.
No, that's right. You bought a dirty console.
A PC snob. He's part of the console peasant race now.
Yes.
No, that's
one of us.
That's my wife's console.
Oh, yeah, sure. Blame it on the wife.
Hey, just to update you, I Am Legend was the movie.
Legend. There you go.
So, all right. Well, Skungy, thank you so much.
I'm going back to now start selling the Switch tonight.
Oh,
God.
It comes out
tonight?
Yeah.
Yes, I will have the review for the system and the Legend of Zelda game next week.
Fantastic.
Oh, see, look, I love that. That's called the tease and the biz, Brian.
It is.
All right, Skungy, guess what?
I'm fired.
Well, that too. But, hey, are you coming to CoastCon with us? Are you going to be there? I completely forgot to ask if you're coming.
I'm going to try to be there on Saturday.
Okay, so lock the doors, Brian.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you then.
So that's what we call a warning, not a teaser.
That is correct. All right,
Thanks,
you're fired later.
Later, guys.
All right, so now, Brian, you want to go to commercial? Or
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go ahead and go to commercial.
Okay.
Guys, stay tuned. When we come back, we've got a whole bunch of interviews in store for you. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week of Geek on Fox Sports 1280.
From the Taxman Financial Service Traffic Center.
Traffic is heavy on I-610 East, approaching the high-rise. Delays are near Broad, and traffic is also building up in Metairie. On I-10 West, we have slowing, starting near Bonneville, heading out toward Power. Traffic is also building on I-10 East between I-310 and Power Boulevard, coming in from Kenner. And on the Riverbound Expressway, delays are building between Metairie Road and the Crescent City connection to the West Bank. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on Twitter at TotalTrafficNO.
This report is brought to you by the Ad Council. What if you knew the exact moment an earthquake would hit? Of course you don't. But shouldn't you be ready anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA, Ready, and the Ad Council.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Bruce Katz in the Fox 8 Weather Center. The feel winter coming back on the North Shore. Upper 30s coming in. Clear skies expected. South Shore in the mid to upper 40s. Now tomorrow, Friday, a gorgeous day to wrap up the work week. High of only 66. Saturday, mostly sunny and 67. A few more clouds on Sunday at 70. The good news, it'll stay pleasant as we go all the way through the weekend. From the Fox 8 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Bruce Katz with your Weather Authority forecast.
This report is brought to you by McDonald's. Download the McDonald's app and get a free large soft drink with any purchase every week. And right now, get any size soft drink, sweet tea, or coffee for just $1 anytime at McDonald's. Limited time. Participation may vary. See McDonald's.com/app for details. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Awards. It's finally here this Sunday night. Find out who you picked to take home the awards.
Wow, this is amazing.
Our iHeartRadio Music Award, hosted by Ryan Seacrest. Your songs, your artists, your awards. Brought to you by Taco Bell's new Naked Chicken Chalupa with the first shell made of crispy marinated all-white meat chicken. You might think it's crazy. Crazy delicious. Proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Watch our iHeartRadio Music Awards Sunday night at 7 o'clock on TBS, TNT, and True TV.
The Week in Geek every Thursday at 6 p.m. from the TubbyandCoos.com studios. Comic books, movies, video games, and more. The Week in Geek every Thursday at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1280 with David D. DeCorbier and Brian Held.
Bet you didn't know this. Broadcast radio reaches more people in America than TV. Yeah, AM/FM radio. The radio that's free in your car, your kitchen, your office. Broadcast radio reaches more adults, teens, and millennials. Broadcast radio reaches 93% of Americans every week. That's bigger than TV, Facebook, and Google. If you're a marketer who needs to reach new fans, visit iHeartMedia.com for the one place everyone is listening. AM/FM radio.
Cause I heard it on the radio.
At the center of every story are people with different points of view that need to be heard because the facts matter, the story matters, and understanding matters.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Samsung's washers and dryers don't just have features for brilliant performance. They're brilliantly priced, too.
How brilliant?
Buy the pair with up to $600 off.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, and you can purchase in-store now. Samsung. Bring it home.
Offer valid January 11th through March 1st at participating retailers. Discount taken off regular retail prices. Retailer's displayed price reflects discount. Actual discount may vary by model and retailer. Offer is non-transferable and void where prohibited or restricted by law. Prices is marked.
Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coos is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all geek to me.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
The 40th Annual Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Gaming Convention, CoastCon, is happening this March 3rd through the 5th in the Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. Join us as CoastCon celebrates 40 years of gaming, costumes, shopping, and panels with celebrity guests, such as actor Oded Fehr from the Mummy and Resident Evil franchises, actor and director Michael Coleman from ABC's Once Upon a Time. For more information, go to coastcon.org. Be there when CoastCon turns 40 March 3rd through the 5th in Biloxi.
When you're in need of pain relief, come to Need It Relief Massage Therapy. Kat is an experienced licensed massage therapist. Check out her website and book your session online now at massagetherapykm.com. Need It Relief Massage Therapy for some much needed relief. Kasha's Bazaar has an unconventional inventory for the discerning geek collector. Comic book related collectibles, vintage New Orleans items, militaria, and plenty for your mundane friends. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jefferson Highway, the Unflea Market.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to
Starscream here, and you are listening to The Week in Geek, Fox Sports, 1280 AM. Call me Lord.
Welcome back, New Orleans. You're listening to The Week in Geek on Fox Sports 1280. This is Brian Hub with
D Squared.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
So, guys, in studio with us, we have our guest, Max Gaudin, Chief Operating Officer of Operation Spark. How you doing, man?
Very good. How are you doing?
We're outstanding. So, one of the things that's really interesting is another DJ here brought you over to talk to us. With the Silicon Bayou in Louisiana, we definitely have a need for coders here, and that's something that you and your organization, Operation Spark, can provide. Tell me a little bit about Operation Spark.
Yeah, basically, in the past 5 years specifically, there's been these things called code schools, which train people rapidly outside of a typical 4-year computer science degree to get jobs in computer programming. So coding, programming, we train people to be software developers. So we have programs that are 4 to 6 months, and the vast majority of people come in with zero programming knowledge, and they have a lot of different backgrounds, but the common theme is that I don't really dig my job or the pay grade I'm at, and I want something better. And because there are so many jobs in software and the industry is not going anywhere, especially here in New Orleans, it's great to get into.
So it sounds kind of crazy. I mean, coding in New Orleans in South Louisiana, but with, there's so many software companies that are coming in town, and we've had In Exile on the air with us before. High Voltage on the air with us. Gameloft is here. And as we were talking about before, GE, companies like you wouldn't even think about having coders, and Chevron also have a need for software developers. I mean, this is what you're feeding, right?
That is correct. Yeah, nationally, over up to 2020, there's going to be 1 million unfilled jobs in software engineering, and that is simply because we're not training enough computer science grads the traditional route fast enough. So here in New Orleans and throughout the rest of the U.S., these code schools have popped up. We're a nonprofit school, and we just teach people how to code.
That's great. I mean, that, it's not a traditional 4-year degree type deal, but I mean, as we've learned over time, my wife is an educator, and college is not for everybody. There are options outside of that sort of degree field, that 4-year or 8-year type degree, and this is one of those deals. But it's also a certificate program that's industry recognized, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we do give out industry-based credentials, and while we do have a lot of people coming from different backgrounds, including those who have dropped out of college. But as you know, there are many people working in restaurants and retail who have undergraduate and graduate degrees, and we have those people coming in as well because college is just not preparing people. And one thing we do is we do have tuition, although we do have financial aid and scholarships in a big way, but we have a deferred tuition model where the majority of the tuition is paid back once our graduates get a job on a monthly basis. And if they do not find a job, they do not have to pay that back, which we would love to see at the college level as well.
It's that's a damn guarantee in essence.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, you don't get that usually. Like you graduate from like UNO or LSU, it's like, yeah, here's your paper. Good luck.
Yeah, and you still got that bill to deal with.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I know, I'm in my day gig, I work in IT, and I know that there are a number of individuals who have gone through school just to get that certification, just to get that degree, but they were taught how to take the test. They were taught just to pass the courses, not really learn the material in a practical application. You're teaching students how to practically apply what they're learning, right?
That is correct. Yeah, it's similar to what you learn at a computer science level, but without all the theory and everything stripped out that is not immediately relevant to getting a job in today's workforce. And students actually build out full stack web applications and iOS and Android applications that employers can use and look at, and that's what they get instead of that piece of paper in the form of a degree. And yeah, we also train on technical interview skills, get people great-looking resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and they can feel really confident going out into the workforce and competing with people who have been in the industry for years.
How much does something like this cost us? I mean, I guess that's the real nuts and bolts question. Like if let's say I'm disillusioned with radio and I want to start learning how to code.
Yeah, that's correct. So our intro to programming class is $825. That's 60 hours of instruction. And our full-time immersion class, which is 3 months long, is $9,000. And that's the one that I said you get the deferred tuition model.
Damn.
On an hour-by-hour basis, it's cheaper than a local public university, and you're guaranteed a job.
And it's more laser focused on that as opposed to if I'm going for like a music degree, I would taking mostly music courses, but then I'm sprinkling it with math and all the other things that I can't stand, like psychology and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that is correct. We certainly want our students to be well-rounded, but they're just drinking from a fire hose of programming knowledge, sort of like if you go to French or Spanish immersion school and you speak only that language, that's all they're doing. We do give them public speaking skills so that they can feel confident
that's cool.
in front of their peers and whatnot. But yeah, it's a great path for people to go on.
Now, one of our listeners is actually sending me a message right now. He wants to know how to find out more about signing up for the school. And do you have night classes for people who have day jobs?
Yes, our boot camp classes are actually run at night for people who are working during the day. They're from 6 to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday for 5 weeks, and that's our intro to programming class where anyone can try their hand at it. Before that, we have a 2-week program called Prep that is free where anyone can figure out if they're into it before they waste their time or money on our classes. And you go to our website, operationspark.org, and click sign up to come to an info session and check out our campus and all that. We're in downtown New Orleans on Camp Street, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. Now, one of the big things that you wanted to mention tonight is something that you told me about. Nominate a nerd. Can you expand on that?
I love it.
Yeah, that's correct. So we have our Nominate a Nerd campaign, which is a campaign across the greater New Orleans area where community members, friends, family, colleagues, and coworkers can nominate the nerds amongst us in our communities to get a full ride, full scholarship through the entirety of our programs at Operation Spark. You go to operationspark.org, or you can just Google Operation Spark and click the nominate button to do that. And basically, when multiple people nominate one person, they bubble up and get access to our scholarship pipeline for this program specifically, which is sponsored in part by Capital One. But we do have scholarships across the board. This is a specific campaign that we're doing a lot of outreach on right now.
How many people do y'all accept in the Nominate a Nerd category? I mean, is it like per session, per boot camp, or per year? How do y'all do it?
This is just the first time we're running it, so we're going to see how many applications come in, and we're not going to put a cap on it. It depends on what kind of people are applying.
Man, who started this idea? Because this is a pretty damn brilliant idea.
Yeah, our founder is John Fraboni. He is actually originally from Canada, but he was a video game programmer. And before that, he was a jazz musician who played the drums down here in New Orleans. And basically, there's a ton of under and unemployed people here in the city. It has a big negative social and economic impact. And then we also have a growing tech community that has open jobs. So it's sort of a no-brainer. And there's these code schools that have been popping up all around the U.S., certainly not many in the South and not many in Louisiana at all.
That's because so many of us got music degrees.
That's correct.
All right. So, what else we got, Brian? Did you want to ask him something else?
Well, one more time, give us that website where people can find out more information about Operation Spark.
Yeah, certainly. It's operationspark.org, and you can find all the information there. For the Nominate a Nerd, there's a nominate link at the top, and then you can also click sign up to sign up directly for our classes. We also have a phone number that's 504-534-8277.
operationspark.org, right?
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and we're going to put up some links on Facebook and all that good stuff to get the word out about it. So, Max, thank you so much for taking the time to come in the studio and tell us all about this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
All right, guys, well, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to run the interview with Ted Raimi and Timothy Zahn that Brian scored in Pensacola. So, guys, stay tuned. This is the Week in Geek on Fox Sports 1280. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coos is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all geek to me.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
The 40th Annual Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Gaming Convention, CoastCon, is happening this March 3rd through the 5th in the Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. Join us as CoastCon celebrates 40 years of gaming, costumes, shopping, and panels with celebrity guests, such as actor Oded Fehr from the Mummy and Resident Evil franchises, actor and director Michael Coleman from ABC's Once Upon a Time. For more information, go to coastcon.org. Be there when CoastCon turns 40 March 3rd through the 5th in Biloxi.
When you're in need of pain relief, come to Need It Relief Massage Therapy. Kat is an experienced licensed massage therapist. Check out her website and book your session online now at massagetherapykm.com. Need It Relief Massage Therapy for some much needed relief. Kasha's Bazaar has an unconventional inventory for the discerning geek collector. Comic book related collectibles, vintage New Orleans items, militaria, and plenty for your mundane friends. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jefferson Highway, the Unflea Market.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to The Week in Geek.
This is Brian Hill with the Week in Geek radio show on Fox Sports 1280, and I'm joined by actor, writer, director, and producer Ted Raimi. How are you, sir?
Fine, thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. So, of course, you know, many fans know you as Joxer from Xena, Warrior Princess, and I mean, you've done so much stuff. I think the most recent thing you've acted in was Ash vs. the Evil Dead, right?
Yeah, that's right. That show is the television version of the popular trilogy movie series of Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, which is really Evil Dead 3. Except this is for cable TV. So the irony here is that those movies are rated R, but this is really unrated. So it's strange that while this is technically on television, it's more gory, more bloody, more filthy. There's more, I guess, sex, drugs, rock and roll here than there would be in the movies because we couldn't have that with an R rating.
So is it kind of the band's back together again, same kind of craziness, or are you pushing in new directions?
I think the answer is both. I think the band is back together again, but it's the same group of actors, some of the writers, but this is more, I would say, broad spectrum because it has to be television and it's serialized. So whereas before you could have Ash, just being Ash for an hour and a half, being goofy and funny and wacky and hitting his head, and you didn't really have to expand it beyond that because it would be over in 90 minutes. This, conversely, is 5 hours a season, 30 minutes an episode, 10 episodes. So you have to have other characters. You have to expand his character, like adding, for example, the two characters I played on this last season, Chet Kaminsky, who is a drunk idiot, and Henrietta, the monster from Evil Dead 2. So yeah. So you have, by its nature of being television, it just needs more.
Absolutely. Now tell me, we talked briefly about the commercials that you made to promote Ash vs. the Evil Dead. You wrote those and directed them. Tell me about that.
Well, typically on movies, television shows, as a character actor, which I am, there's a lot of downtime. You're waiting for the lead actors to shoot out their stuff, so you go in, you crank out your stuff, and then you've got 2 days off, 1 day on. So instead of just sitting around twiddling my thumbs in Auckland, New Zealand, I came up with an ad campaign that I pitched to stars that they liked, and this campaign's called the Shemp's Beer Ad Campaign. So Shemp's is a fictional beer that's on the TV show. You see us drinking the beer. It's a brand. There's also Shemp's whiskey and stuff. So I thought it would be funny if an ad for the cable show Ash vs. Evil Dead had Shemp's beer in it. So it's a little meta. It's as though it really existed, but it really doesn't exist. So you have to know the show to get the joke. But I think the fans really dug it. I was very lucky. We got millions and millions of watches and likes for those videos. So I think the fans dig it. I was happy to have the opportunity to create it.
You mentioned New Zealand. Any chance that hobbits brewed that beer?
It's entirely possible. But really, it's more like just soda water in those cans, I can tell you firsthand. I drank about 50 of them on the show. So.
Nice. So what's on your plate right now? What are you working on?
I'm in pre-production for a new movie I'm directing. I think should be released in October. It's a thriller, psychological thriller called Runway, and I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first feature. I've directed a million horror shorts and a million commercials, but it's time I move into feature film, so that's what's coming up.
That we look forward to it. So there's a trend that I'm noticing in the entertainment industry, and I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it since you're very involved in a number of areas, is the crowdfunding model that we're seeing, Indiegogo and Kickstarter or whatever. People are producing movies or TV shows or what have you in this fashion. What do you think about that trend?
I think it's great. I think it's a great trend. I mean, typically there are two basically groups of movie budgets. The first is the tent poles. And those are usually $175 million and up. And then there's everything else, which is usually under, maybe $75,000 or $100,000, $300,000. So this enables movies to be made in the way that they used to be. If you can possibly raise $1 million, that's a nice, respectable budget. You'll get nice camera movements. You'll get a couple name actors if you're lucky. You'll get a decent director for that price. And you'll be able to make a quality movie that isn't just taking place in a closet, for that budget. So I think it's great.
No, that's great. Well, Mr. Raimi, thank you so much for taking the time. We look forward to Runway, October, you said, right?
Yes, that's right. Correct. It's in October. That's a temporary title. It might also be called Layover. We don't know yet.
So where can we find out more information about Runway?
That you'll find it soon. You can't find it right now, but just keep looking at my website. I'm at Ted Raimi across the board, TedRaimi.com, and you can find me, Ted Raimi, Twitter, and Ted Raimi at Facebook, and also Ted Raimi at Instagram. So please check it out, and there should be more information there soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Man, Brian, you got Ted Raimi?
Well, not only that, but next I got Timothy Zahn.
Timothy Zahn, the Thrawn trilogy, greatest. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, he was so awesome to meet, and I had dinner with him on Friday night at Pensacon.
Bastard.
Yeah.
All right, let's play that one.
All right.
This is Brian Hell with the Week in Geek radio show on Fox Sports 1280, and I'm here with famed author Timothy Zahn. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks.
That's fantastic. So we're here at Pensacon out in Pensacola, Florida, having a great time. And I had to stop by to talk to you. You've got so much great writing that you've done. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about your process. How many books do you write at once? Or is it just a dedicated, do you write one at a time and move to the next?
I generally try to do one at a time. The complications happen when I'm writing a book. The galleys or a copy edited version of a different book come in, then I have to put book one aside, go and rework on book two. It's a little bit of mental whiplash to have to go back from, say, a Cobra book to a Star Wars book and then back again. It does tend to slow things down a bit in my mind. But given my own, if I was allowed to do it, I would just do one book at a time, finish it, and then go on to the next.
And I could see the importance of that focus, right? That dedication. Now, of course, Thrawn, right? Thrawn is a well-beloved character of yours. And what did you think about seeing Thrawn on the screen in Rebels?
It was very exciting, very humbling in some ways. In some ways, it almost still doesn't feel real. I'll see him in Rebels, and he's like, cool. Wait a minute, I invented him, didn't I? Cool, even cooler. So there's it's one of those overnight successes 25 years later for the character.
Most definitely. Now, did you have any involvement, helping develop the character that we see on screen?
No, they had pretty much done all the development they planned to do, and were already well into season 3 scripts and such by the time they brought me down to Lucasfilm and told me what was going on. We have talked back and forth. I've pitched some suggestions to them. I don't know if anything's been implemented. General things like, okay, this is where you could take him. This is where you could write him out of the galactic story. Since he's not in the classic trilogy, he's got to be off camera someplace. Here is some suggestions. Again, I don't know whether they're going to do that or not. I'm also pitching a couple of sequel books to Del Rey that would also follow some of that same stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and you bring up a very good point about the books from Del Rey, because we can see Thrawn, his next book, on April 11th. You have a little teaser, something to whet the appetite of the listeners out there?
Yeah, basically the book is a prequel to Season 3 of Rebels. So we will be following Thrawn's rise to power from his arrival in Imperial space to his rise to Grand Admiral over the several years that takes. So it'll be, I've picked up a couple of throwaway lines, a couple of other various things from the series. I've been watching to see, okay, what does Thrawn do? What does this character do? What does that character do? Can I foreshadow that in the book? So I've got a bunch of little connections between the book and the show, which I think the readers and viewers are going to enjoy. The trick on something like this is to make it such that if you've seen Rebels, you will see, I see this is where that whole plot thread or something started, while at the same time I don't want the book readers who haven't seen Rebels to feel like they're missing something, because it needs to be self-contained. So that's the tricky part with that, but I think we've managed to do that okay.
Well, and it's great now that we have, Thrawn established in canon now with this book coming out. Now, of course, you do much more than just the Star Wars universe. And we recently got a copy, an advanced reader's copy of StarCraft Evolution that I personally read. Thought it was fantastic. And my appreciation to you for building a self-contained book that you don't have to understand the entire universe to get into the book and appreciate it. So how was it writing for Blizzard and that universe?
Very much the same as writing for Lucasfilm. They walked me through a lot of it. I was not nearly as familiar with the StarCraft game as I am with the Star Wars universe. So there were a lot of places they had to kind of walk me through things. Things I had somehow missed that we had to re-edit. So we went through a couple of different iterations. But the goal there was to give, again, an enhancement, something people who know the game, who know some of the side references, they can appreciate where the history has led to this book. Whereas people who don't know the game, okay, here are a couple of references to the history, but they aren't all that important. Okay, this character is something that everybody is concerned about. I put that in, but the reader doesn't have to know anything more. So again, make it self-contained, make it something that a new reader, a new visitor to StarCraft will not feel lost in.
Well, and definitely, I got it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And so, of course, you're definitely putting pen to paper right now. You've got tons of projects that you're working on. I know I'm not asking you to talk about them. Where can folks keep an eye on you on the net to know when that stuff's coming out?
I announce things on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Timothy Zahn. I can actually talk a little bit. I've got the 9th of my Cobra books. I'm just finishing up. That should come out later this year. The 3rd Manticore Ascendant book I'm doing with David Weber. We're waiting on David to finish vetting my manuscript, and we'll do all that compilation. That should hopefully be out later this year as well. I have a new series starting from Tor, probably a trilogy, but it may be up to 5 books. Chronicles of the Sibyl's War, Sibyl, about a young woman who's kidnapped from the streets of Philadelphia and pressed into service on an alien ship fixing the thing with a bunch of human and alien crews. And, of course, things are not what they seem at first, as always.
That sounds incredible. I can't wait to see that. Wow, fantastic. Well,
yeah, that one comes out in May, a month after Thrawn.
Wow, so we're right there. That's great.
We're right there, yes.
Wonderful. Well, Mr. Zahn, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and talk to the listeners out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
This report is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
It looks like a tow truck is being moved to the scene of an accident on I-10 East, milepost 210. If you're traveling from LaPlace toward Kenner on the Spillway, currently all lanes are blocked and delays are backed up to US 51 if you're coming in from LaPlace. Also seeing heavy traffic on I-10 East between I-310 and Power Boulevard in Kenner. And we also have a backup on I-10 West from Canal Street to the Claiborne flyover. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on Twitter at Total Traffic NO.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
If you need a quick loan, here are 3 reasons to choose lindup.com, the better payday loan. 1, our application is done entirely online and good credit is not required. 2, if you're approved, you could have cash in as soon as 15 minutes and climb the Lindup ladder over time to more money at lower rates. And 3, Lindup has no hidden fees or debt traps. We only succeed when you do. Lindup.com, the better payday loan. Subject to availability in your state. Funding times vary by customer and an additional fee may apply. Lindup is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight pursuant to the California Deferred Deposit Transaction Law.
I'm Chef Alon Shaya, and I love being a tourist right here in Louisiana. It's easy to do thanks to LouisianaTravel.com. Whether it's a day trip outside of town to try a new restaurant or a 3-day outdoor adventure with the family, LouisianaTravel.com has all the trip ideas and planning tools you'll need. So log on, explore a great state, and pick your passion in Louisiana. Visit LouisianaTravel.com.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Office of Tourism and this station.
At the center of every story are people with different points of view that need to be heard because the facts matter, the story matters, and understanding matters.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Samsung's washers and dryers don't just have features for brilliant performance. They're brilliantly priced, too.
How brilliant?
Buy the pair with up to $600 off.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, and you can purchase in-store now. Samsung. Bring it home.
Offer valid January 11th through March 1st at participating retailers. Discount taken off regular retail prices. Retailer's displayed price reflects discount. Actual discount may vary by model and retailer. Offer is non-transferable and void where prohibited or restricted by law. Prices is marked.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Kasha's Bazaar, located at 5727 Jesson Highway, across from Red, White, and Blue. Geeky collectibles and more. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Kasha's Bazaar. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jesson Highway, the Unflea Market.
Tubby and Coos, Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton, just off Orleans and Carrollton. Books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. Find them on the web at tubbyandcoos.com and sign up for their geekly newsletter. Tubby and Coos, more than books.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
March 3rd through the 5th, CoastCon celebrates its 40th anniversary. Join us for the 40th annual Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Gaming Convention held in Mississippi's Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. Enjoy 3 days of gaming, costumes, shopping, and guest panels with celebrities like actor Oded Fair from the Mummy and Resident Evil franchises, and New York Times best-selling authors Robert Buettner and Claudia Gray. This March 3rd through the 5th, come celebrate 40 years of CoastCon. For more information, go to coastcon.org. Now back to The Week in Geek on Fox Sports 1280. This is D-Squared along with
Brian Held.
Hey, Brian, how the hell are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, we just didn't have a whole lot of time today because, you know, we've got so many interviews, but now it's time for...
And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world. Brought to you by Kasha's Bazaar. Find them at 5727 Jefferson Highway. And now, our top nerd news stories.
All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
David, oh my God.
What?
Dude, Bright. Did you see the trailer for this new streaming series that's coming from Netflix?
Yes, I did, but I don't think it's cream-worthy like you're doing.
Did you not play Shadowrun?
Yes, I did.
It's like
Flaming Seagulls.
It's oh, really?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
We were in high school. Screw you.
It's like somebody picked up a Shadowrun role-playing book and turned it into a Netflix series. I
wouldn't get so excited from one clip of an orc with a shotgun, Will Smith holding a sword, and then a couple of elves.
Look, it says in the deal, okay, set in an alternative present day where humans, orcs, and elves and fairies have been coexisting since the beginning of time. Right now, granted, that's different from the Shadowrun setup where it was a magical event that created all of those creatures, but...
Right. Well, what about, all right, do we have evil corporations and stuff like that?
It's present day. I mean, there's evil corporations now. What are you talking about?
Well, then that means we'll survive, so I like it already because we're part of the iHeartMedia Corporation.
Right.
So, I mean, I bet we got some pretty good people on our side.
Yeah, probably so.
So, I mean, I don't know why. It looks interesting, and it's Netflix, so I have hope for it.
Right.
I mean, just from the clip and the intro, yeah, I mean, you know, that's what we want it to be.
Right.
But I am going to reserve judgment right now when I get to see a more extended clip and a little bit more about the plot line. You know what I'm saying? Because this is more, it seems like it's just like, yeah, we're going to throw in a random orc and some... The elves are going to take all the screen time. You know,
no,
the screen
I don't
time.
think so.
I think so. They always make the elves like front and center with a Orlando Bloom, you know, just putting them out there with his little Legolas face.
Don't be hating on Legolas. All right.
He is cute. I do kind of like him.
All right.
All
well,
right,
look,
so
speaking of streaming.
You're excited. I'm not. Let's
Yes.
go.
Speaking of streaming, YouTube launches a streaming TV service.
All right. Why are you so excited about this?
Well, okay. Well, first off, it
I have
means,
to temper your enthusiasm.
Well, first off, it means that you need another subscription besides your Netflix one now.
Bite me. Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat.
Well, look, if you shift some stuff around, maybe you can save some money. It's only $35 a month, right? And it's going to offer access.
$35 a month?
Offering access to content from broadcast networks as well as YouTube.
Which broadcast networks?
ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, Bravo, FX, ESPN, and Fox Sports.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well played, YouTube.
Right.
Well played.
And
They're hitting me where I live.
Yes. And there's more. There's a whole bunch more. There's a whole list of all of these different things. Plus
$35
unlimited DVR capabilities.
Okay, but I have to save it somewhere.
Well,
is it cloud?
Yes,
Is it
you
on the cloud?
save it to the cloud.
Are you
right?
sure about that? Or are you just making crap
No,
up?
I'm not making stuff up. It's seriously. There's a DVR function. I mean,
I think
about
it's way too expensive. I mean, that just seems. That
yeah,
just
but
seems
how much are you
overly-
paying for cable right now?
We're not discussing me, Brian. We're discussing about people who want to buy streaming.
Well, but you're saying it's too expensive.
$9.95 for Netflix is worth it. You know, Amazon Prime. I don't know. They gave it to me for free because I'm in radio, so I don't know how much it costs.
It's $7,500 a year, something
Man,
like
boy,
that.
I'm getting paid good.
Yeah, but if you order a lot from Amazon, which my wife as an educator does, then
As an educator,
yeah,
that's your excuse.
She orders stuff for her school all the time.
And Soot, she's always ordering stuff for Soot.
Yes, she orders stuff for the cat as well. And of course, you get free shipping for Prime members, so we save on all that shipping. It comes out
okay.
A wash, but
I don't. $35 too high. I'm cheap. I know.
But you're moving the goalposts. You're saying it's too high because you're saying it's from your perspective. But then I say, well, you may save money on your cable bill. You're saying, well, I'm talking about the listeners, right? So what are you talking about?
I do that all the time. Why you seem shocked?
All right,
but no, I mean,
you know what I am shocked about?
I think it's too high.
You know what I'm shocked about? That Suicide Squad won an Oscar last weekend.
For what?
For makeup and hairstyling.
You sure? Maybe they mixed up the envelopes like they did for Best Movie. It could have been a mistake.
Yeah, it probably was. Star Trek deserved that Oscar. I mean, come on, dude.
You know, if I had to choose between Suicide Squad and Star Trek Beyond for Best, it was what? Best
makeup and hairstyle.
Oh, yeah, Star Trek should have beat them hands down.
Right.
There's no debate there, man.
So you think there's a little payoff in the backside?
Dude, that's the Oscars in a nutshell, dude. That's just the Oscars in a nutshell.
All right. You ready for some This Week in Geek History?
Always.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by NOLA Gaming Fest, February 18th and 19th at the Pontchartrain Center. Find out more at nolagamingfest.com. This week,
I was going to cut it, Brian.
History.
Yes! Oh my God! But I just like that last one.
I know. I guess you got to recut that audio. All right.
I do.
All right.
After CoastCon.
You got to guess right out of the gate.
Damn you.
February 27, 1998. Directed by Alex Proyas, starring Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, Richard O'Brien, Jennifer Connelly.
Lost Boys.
And William Hurt.
No, it's not Lost Boys?
It's not Lost Boys.
Then I give up.
Dark City.
Oh.
You didn't like Dark City?
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool flick.
I like Dark Man better.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was, dude, I can't tell you how many times I dressed up for Halloween as Dark Man.
Yeah.
Because I owned a trench coat, a fedora, and just wrap some gauze around your face, man. Instant cosplay.
Pretty much.
All right, what's next?
All right, March 1st, 1962. Smashing his way into comics, it's the Incredible Hulk #1.
Hulk smash!
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Lou Ferrigno, we miss you already, buddy. Come back to the studios.
All right,
what's
last one I got is March 4th, 1974. Atari introduces Quadra Ping Pong to arcades in North America.
Why would they do that?
Well, it's like a take on Pong, but it's with like 4 players, up to 4 players.
So is their first attempt at like having a 4-player game?
Sort of, but
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's the first introduction of the cabinets. What are they called? The cocktail cabinets. Remember those?
Oh, the little flat was like every Pizza Hut as we were kids?
Exactly.
Oh, my God, those were awesome!
But this one, actually, the first one, the surface was curved.
Boo!
Right, which
not
is
cool.
Probably their beta.
Pizza Hut. That's the only reason I would go to Pizza Hut as a kid, because of those little things, and those were awesome.
Yeah, like Pac-Man and stuff.
Yes.
And yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, memories of the way we were.
All right. Exactly. All right. Some birthdays, real quick. Adam Baldwin, Gilbert Gottfried, Dirk Benedict, Gates McFadden. And that's good enough.
All right. No, we also got to talk about our buddy who died in. How about a greasy pork sandwich? Game over, man.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
that
very
sucks,
sad.
man.
Yeah.
Hug your loved ones, people.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of hugging our loved ones, Brian, are we going to be hugging complete strangers or loved ones this weekend?
Both, probably.
Both. All right.
Because we're going to be at CoastCon, their 40th anniversary, guys.
I'm going to have to say something. The first time I ever got drunk was at a CoastCon.
Yeah.
I was 15.
I was at a Pona Patrol Halloween Bash.
Oh, well, it's almost kind of like the same crew.
Yeah, it is.
In
It
essence,
is the same crew, yeah. But, no, guys.
CoastCon, 40 years, dude. That's unbelievable.
It's going to be a blast all weekend long. Guys, we're doing the opening ceremonies.
Yes.
And
like, we're gonna do it like Johnny Carson Tonight Show style, like Jimmy Fallon kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, we're gonna be introducing. It's gonna be a little more intimate thing as opposed to parading all the guests up on stage. We're gonna take a little time with them. Find out what they're doing. Also for the weekend. Just kind of like, and we're gonna have a little fun with it because, well, Brian, I don't know how to ask straight normal questions like you do in that like fancy interview stuff you do. I can't do that.
But we're also gonna have games and prizes to give away for our audience members.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Actually, I mean, we've still got a whole bunch of stuff left over from Comic-Con too, man. We got a lot of stuff to give away.
We do.
We even have a sound system.
Yeah, that's
we do,
right.
I know.
Yeah,
huh?
you got to come take it off our hands.
Yes, so. And then we're doing the costume contest as well.
That's going to be Saturday night.
Saturday night. Don't we have a panel?
We do have a panel Saturday during the day.
How early in the day?
I want to say it's like 3:00.
Okay, I'll be sober by then.
Oh, geez.
Or at least lightly hungover at that point.
You're ridiculous, Dave.
I know. That's why you love me. All right, guys. What else? Is that about it? We good to go?
That's about it, man.
Man, I'm so used to running towards the. Hey, Brian, this song's for you.
Oh, this is the soundtrack.
No one has still given us an answer on what song this is.
You're right.
If you can name this song, come find us at CoastCon, and we're going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. So give it a listen. God, I hate this song, Brian. Well, is that all we got for us this week?
I think so, yeah, man. Everything's been focused on CoastCon, and it's going to be this weekend. We're going to have a great time.
Follow us on Facebook. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
We are
GFL.
Fox Sports 1280 WODT New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.